How you doing? How you doing? And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Petty, and we're here to take a look at Marvel Future Revolution again. I've been grinding this all last night after the video. I've been playing it all today, trying to finish up the first area's records. Oh, you get a 5-star card that gives you like 23% crit damage. It's nice. It's nice. But we were in Ultron's assembly plant for just hours trying to finish the most wanted today. So, if you want to have potentially an easier time than I did, we got a couple of tips for you for new players and things to look out for. So, first things first, let's take a look at some real fast. So, on this screen, there's several important things. One of the most important things, it's really easy to miss, is records. Okay? Sounds like something boring like taxes. You know what I mean? No one likes taxes. No one's gonna like records. Nope. They should have named this the ish. Gotta censor myself. But this is absolutely where you want to be paying the most attention while you're going through and doing things, because there's some stuff here that is going to benefit you in a big way. And if you're doing all this as you're going through, you're not going to have to backtrack and do all this stuff later once you're way over leveled from everything, and you're going to have an easier time leveling up your squad rank. And that is very important to progressing through the game, because you'll run into points in the story mode. Think there might be one in the 20s. I have no idea. I blew right past it. And there was one in the 30s, but I was literally right there and hit it after doing two things. So not really a big roadblock there. But you want to get your squad rank up. And one of the easiest ways to make sure that you're getting that done is going through and doing your records. I'm going to click on it like 3 times, not realizing that it's opened the tabs for us here. So challenges are really straightforward, and this is specific across your entire account. So you're not going to be able to do this on a bunch of different characters to try and cheese your way through a bunch of squad power. But there's a lot of good stuff in here, and I highly recommend going after and getting some of the later ones outside of your dailies. So if you pop in here, see that you're like, maybe 50, 100 people away from murdering some stuff, maybe just leave it on auto in the middle of a field so you're just decimating stuff while you're grabbing a drink and fixing up some food real quick. Real good thing to keep an eye on and know which things you are close in terms of getting next and upgrading. So another real fun thing here is collection. Really, the biggest way that this is going to come up is when you're going through and looking at going through each of these maps. Let me see if I can pull one up real quick for you. And I have to go to a zone that I still have stuff in, otherwise you don't see it. But when you go and look at these zones, oh, nope, we looted everything there. We'll do that. We'll do that. But it'll show you all of the collectibles, which are blue little chests all around the map, and then all of the side quests, which are going to be green, exclamation points around the map. When you're going through, if you're doing the story, it's super easy to just keep autoing straight through and just knocking out all of your story stuff. And you're going to run past a lot of things that would save you a lot of time in the long run by going ahead and just stopping and grabbing them. So if I'm going to go do this little side quest here, okay, well, I can see that there's a little blue box there. Let me go ahead and get the little blue box, and then let me go ahead and do my side quest. And you go through a lot of different zones. You're going to have a lot of boxes and a lot of side quests to pick up. And all of that's super important. And again, feeds into your squad power, which you need to be able to advance further and further as you get higher level. Another important thing to note is that your squad power goes across all of your heroes. So this game not only rewards you for playing other heroes, but they incentivize you with like, hey man, you get good enough on this character, these other characters going to be real strong. You can also play those characters, and that will also contribute to your squad level. So if you get to a point to where you have a bunch of stuff that you can't do yet because of your squad level, probably try to grind out all your record stuff that you can. Like try and complete all that, get you some nice rewards, boo. But outside of that, you can then switch to another character and then start leveling them up. And with how the way the different characters play and move around, like if you play Black Widow the whole time and never enjoy the absolute thrill of flying around in this game, yeah, you gonna want to play a flying character on your next go around, or just Spider-Man, because that is just super satisfying swinging all around. But all of that stuff will help you get your squad power up, which if you're doing all of these things as you're going, there's a very strong chance that you're never going to notice the walls in the game, because a lot of people just kind of skip over them since they're doing everything anyways. Collecting all the chests gets you collectibles, which then gives you rewards on that side. You're then also able to break those down. The items that you get out of the chest, break those down and get some stuff out of that. So I mean, it's kind of nice. There's a lot of incentives all about. So a lot of this stuff is things that you're doing anyway. Oop! I can see a collectible in the corner. You know what? Your boy's gonna go ahead and grab that real quick while we're just talking about stuff. But next, probably important thing that I would want to talk to new players about is probably gonna be gear. Let me go ahead and get to a safe-ish kind of spot real quick. Okay. So it's super easy in a game like this to start throwing around a lot of early game resources. Actually, I can show you exactly how you do want to run early game upgrades. Let's go back to headquarters real quick, because we gotta enhance a costume. Let's go. But you're gonna get thrown a couple of pieces that are 2 or 3 star through quest rewards. Obviously use those are gonna be your nice easy bet, but you're gonna get a lot of 1-star pieces of gear. Now early game, you really are not going to want to sweat set bonuses too much, and we'll make other videos kind of getting into, you know, what sets are good in what situations and what you want to focus on there. But just in terms of early game progression and how you want to manage your gear, really the best that you can hope for is, out of all the different ones you'll find, is maybe finding another 2-set bonus that you can go with. I don't even think I managed to get that lucky on mine. But if we go in our little gear enhancer over here, we can see what I'm rocking. So we got 2-piece of Sir Strange. Is that our second one? Yeah, that's our second one. And then a piece of that, piece of this. It would be nice to be able to match these up, but it's not super going to matter, especially early game. By the time you progress and get in towards those later levels, you're going to be getting much better gear than this stuff. So really, you're just teaching yourself good ways for upgrading your gear and managing the stuff that you do get, instead of just dismantling it all. So if we look at what I'm wearing right now, we can see I got 3 3-star pieces of gear and 1 2-star pieces of gear. So you essentially need, if I wanted to try and go in and do this now, you need a bunch of other pieces of that same star level, essentially. So we do have enough right now to be able to do that, because it takes 4 pieces. But if I, and I didn't want to close all the way out of that. But if you, say didn't have all of those slots, then you would, take one of these up, upgrade it. Oh, I'm out of stuff, so I can't go through and upgrade it. But essentially, you want to bump up gear as you need it. But otherwise, it's really wasteful to keep trying to upgrade a bunch of gear that, when you blow through another 30 to 40 levels, because I'm at 35 now, it's a 100 level cap, so we just kind of a little over a third into the game. Not super big to worry about gear right now. So dismantling and breaking some of that stuff down and getting resources to be able to upgrade stuff is going to benefit you far more in the long run. So while you want to, do the little bit that you can, obviously we had enough to do those boots. I would be okay with, recommending doing that. But past that, you don't want to be upgrading a bunch of different sets and being like, okay, well, I've got like one that's going for skills over here and then one that's going for attack. Let me level up both of them. Okay, are you level 80? all right, then you probably don't need to be worried about trying to do that and building multiple sets or anything of that nature yet. Just chill out on gear for the most part, and just keep, freeing up bag space as you need to. That's really the most that you need to be worrying about gear early game. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Outside of stuff trying to focus on your squad power and how we're looking at gear, nothing else super crazy. They give you a good amount of gold, so you're never really super starved in terms of trying to like prioritize your upgrades or anything like that. Skills, it'll bully you and keep telling you that you need to get upgrades for skills that you're not even using at the moment. So when possible and when money is tight, ignore that. If there's a little red thing over skills because it's for a skill that you literally never use, ignore it unless you got a bunch of money. But once you start needing to spend it, your money can go pretty quickly. So I would, move forward with a little bit of caution on that one. But yeah, oops, mess up the sizing real fast. But outside of that, that's really it for new players. I'm still heavily digging into this one myself. I am very excited. I believe, and I have not seen this super confirmed yet, so I'm not going to make a big deal of it, but I believe the global launch is going to be August 21st or 3rd. August 21st or 3rd. Either way, I'm going to have to just keep up a VPN until this game is out globally, because it is slapping. And never mind, there's one more thing that we can talk about for new players. Just a heads up, guys. You're going to be able to kind of just auto through a decent amount of stuff early game and everything. Once you start getting to like early to mid 20s, you're going to start running into a lot of supervillain battles. And those are going to be their own like little levels. I think the first one has like 13 or 14 objectives that you have to worry about. And it's going to be like a little mission. Oh, go fight these guys here. Go pick up this thing, put it over here. Yada, yada, yada. The last mission in that little thing is going to be the actual like boss fight. Okay. You have one revive on those fights. Those fights have hits that will kill you in basically one shot. Especially as you get through your 20s and start hitting them through your 30s, because trust me, they just keep throwing them at you over and over again. There's so many hard fights. And I'm, again, just level 35. We've run into enough that it's slightly traumatizing. But you really have to pay attention to mechanics. You really have to be moving around a lot. And one of the kind of unsung heroes of this is our little guy down here. Our little dodge button. Do you see the words that just popped up over my head? Invincible. Now, you're going to be super tempted to use this tab to get out of any time like the enemy does something where it's a big red enclosed area. If you can, try running Q and Eing your way out of there. So if you're not already flying, hit flying, hitting your E so that you boost a little bit. That'll usually get you away and out of most of those big AoE attacks. Really, where I find the tab most useful is being able to cheese a lot of the attacks that you otherwise wouldn't dodge. So when the enemies attack you, and I wish we had a computer that could do editing, because I would love to edit some of this together for you, and maybe we'll do a more in-depth video of this if I can work with some people and get some footage recorded and then edit it into something that we can just play on the screen beside me and I can talk about it. But a lot of the auto attacks from like these boss monsters will hurt, and if you get hit by enough of those and then miss up just one mechanic, bam, really easy to die super fast. So what I typically like to save tab for is the moves that I know the bosses do that don't actually auto track. So some of their moves, say if a boss was throwing a grenade, he's going to throw a grenade at where you are. You can walk away from that, okay, and it's just going to go back to where you were before. You're completely safe and fine. Some of those auto attacks will auto track, so it's not something that you can dodge by just kind of drifting to the left. So those are the moments in the battle that I like to use tab to get that short invincibility, so that I kind of cheese off some of that damage and have more health in case I make other mistakes. Because those supervillain fights are like whole levels. Like you got to do a bunch of stuff and then fight them. So if you fight them, die, use your revive, and die again, you got to do all of that over. So those start getting real very fast, and that's honestly one of my favorite things in the game so far. When our one of the days right after our computer died, they had posted some developer Q&A where they basically said something along the lines of like, "Hey, we intend to build this game in such a way that there is no way to pay past having to play it." So essentially, that it would have mechanics that you can't auto through. You can't just end up with buying super crazy gear that lets you just blow your way through it. You have to do game mechanics. You have to learn game mechanics. You have to adhere to them. You can't just da 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 your way through it. And that shows up in these missions. You have to show up with full attention for these missions. You cannot auto them. So it's, or at least you can't auto the bosses. You can probably auto most of the stuff up to them, but it's those boss fights are real, y'all. Don't play. Don't play, because it ain't gonna play with you. It's gonna hurt your feelings. It's gonna hurt your feelings. But after I want to say like 12-15 hours of digging into this so far, from last night to today, yeah. Or actually no, it's been 2 days I think since we got it going. Yeah. So it's good. It's good, ladies and gentlemen. For any of you that are lucky enough to be in Canada or able to use a VPN to be able to play this right now, hopefully some of these tips were good for you guys. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We can wrap it up there. Thank you guys so much for sitting through the jank and the unedited stuff right now. Hopefully we figure out something with the computer stuff soon, but I appreciate you. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Remember, likes, comments, all that stuff is really, really helpful for the channel. So if you don't mind doing those things, I super appreciate you. That helps me out a whole lot. And yeah, you're going to have to catch your boy in the next one after we find the record button, because we out of here. Deuces.